Did you know your daily oatmeal might quietly harm your heart depending on what you mix in? It's a tough truth to hear, especially if you're someone who's tried to make healthier choices as you've gotten older. Oatmeal has a good reputation, and for good reason. On its own, it's gentle on the stomach, full of soluble fiber, and great for managing cholesterol and blood sugar. But here's what most people don't realize. Once you start adding the wrong toppings or mix-ins, many of which are marketed as healthy, that same bowl can quietly turn into a sugar bomb, a metabolic stressor, or even a long-term threat to your organs. After 60, your body becomes more sensitive to blood sugar spikes, additives, and certain fats. Your digestion slows down, your insulin response changes, and your liver and kidneys work a little harder to filter out what they used to handle with ease. What you put in your oatmeal can either help your body or quietly overwhelm it. And the scary part is most people don't even know which ingredients are doing the damage. In this video, we're looking at 7 foods that are often added to oatmeal by older adults and why each one could be doing far more harm than good. Some of these might surprise you. Others you may have trusted for years, but by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to avoid and how to make sure your oatmeal remains the health-sting meal you intended it to be. Stay with us until the end, because just removing 1 or 2 of these from your routine could mean better energy, more stable blood sugar, and even protection for your liver, kidneys, and heart. Your breakfast should never work against you, especially when it's something you eat every single day. Number 1. Brown sugar that stresses your insulin response. Brown sugar might look a little more natural than white sugar, but for your body, especially after 60, it's all processed the same way. And when you scoop it into your morning oatmeal, you're not just sweetening your food. You're triggering a sharp rise in blood sugar that can leave you feeling tired, foggy, and even hungrier an hour later. Worse, over time, those repeated spikes wear down your insulin response and increase the risk of type 2 diabetes, even in people who think they're eating healthy. That's because as we age, the pancreas produces less insulin, and the body becomes more resistant to the insulin it does produce. When you throw fast-absorbing sugar into the mix, like the kind found in brown sugar, it's like pouring gasoline on a fire. Your blood sugar jumps, then it crashes. And over time, this pattern leads to more belly fat, more inflammation, and more damage to your blood vessels. I remember a woman named Janet, 67, who swore by her healthy breakfast of oatmeal with a little brown sugar and skim milk. She couldn't figure out why she always needed a nap by 10:30. After reviewing her diet with her doctor, she cut out the added sugar, and within a week, her morning energy leveled out. I didn't think it was the sugar. She told me it was just a spoonful, but it was enough to set everything off. Brown sugar doesn't come alone either. It often brings a craving for more sweet things later in the day. That's because sugar triggers dopamine, the brain's pleasure chemical, and as that wears off, you're left with a dip that makes you reach for another hit. It's not about willpower, it's about chemistry. If you still want a touch of sweetness in your oatmeal, consider a few slices of banana or some cinnamon and vanilla instead. These offer gentle, natural flavor without sending your blood sugar into a tailspin. The key isn't to fear sweetness, but to stop flooding your body with the kind that burns fast and leaves damage in its wake. When you start your morning with stable blood sugar, everything else works better. Your mood, your memory, even your metabolism. And by removing just that 1 scoop of brown sugar, you're giving your body a head start that can carry through the rest of your day. Number 2, artificial sweeteners. Artificial sweeteners may seem like the smart choice, especially for seniors watching their blood sugar, but the truth is far more complicated. These low-calorie alternatives, often found in little pink or yellow packets, might save you a few grams of sugar in the short term, but they can quietly wreak havoc on your metabolism, gut health, and even liver function over time. Here's why. Your body expects sweetness to come with calories and energy, but when it gets sweetness without those calories, As it does with things like sucralose, aspartame, or saccharin, it gets confused. This mismatch can alter your insulin response, increase cravings later in the day, and even slow down your metabolism. In older adults, where hormonal sensitivity is already shifting, that disruption can make it harder to lose weight, harder to control blood sugar, and easier to gain belly fat, even when you think you're doing everything right. Then there's the issue of liver load. Many artificial sweeteners are processed by the liver, and though they don't raise blood sugar directly, they still require filtration. Over time, especially if consumed daily, they can add unnecessary stress to a liver that may already be managing medications, age-related slowdown, or other dietary toxins. The result? A slower, more sluggish liver, which can lead to fatigue, poor digestion, and elevated liver enzymes, sometimes without symptoms until it's progressed. A man named Charles, 74, had been mixing sugar-free syrup and sweeteners into his oatmeal for years. He said he liked the taste and thought it was diabetic-friendly. But when his liver panel came back slightly elevated, his doctor suggested cutting out the artificial additives. Within a few weeks, his digestion improved, and his follow-up, labs looked better. "I thought I was helping myself," he said. "Turns out I was just giving my liver one more job to do." Instead of artificial sweeteners, try using cinnamon, nutmeg, or a splash of almond extract. Even a small amount of real fruit can satisfy your sweet tooth while offering vitamins, fiber, and antioxidants, things no lab-made powder can provide. Your body has been working hard for you for decades. It deserves real nourishment, not artificial signals. Because when you feed your body clean fuel, it doesn't just perform better, it feels better too. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 2 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now let's move forward. Number 3. Dried fruits. Dried fruits might seem like an innocent, even wholesome addition to your oatmeal. After all, they come from real fruit. But when fruit is dried, the water content disappears, and the sugar becomes intensely concentrated, often turning a handful of raisins or dried cranberries into the sugar, equivalent of a candy bar without you even realizing it. This becomes especially dangerous for older adults because the sugar and dried fruit is mainly fructose, which the liver has to process almost entirely on its own. Unlike glucose, which your muscles and brain can use directly, fructose is sent straight to the liver where it can be turned into fat. This contributes to fatty liver disease, a condition becoming more and more common in people over 60, even those who don't drink alcohol at all. Take a closer look at those little dried fruits. A few tablespoons of dried cranberries, for instance, can contain over 20 kilograms of added sugar, often mixed with syrup during processing to keep them soft and sweet. Even unsweetened dried fruit like dates or raisins still delivers a huge hit of natural sugar in a very small package. You may think you're adding a healthy topper, but your liver is silently groaning with every spoonful. I knew a man named Gerald, 69, who ate oatmeal with a handful of dried apricots every morning. He thought it was a smart way to boost his fiber, but he always felt bloated after breakfast and couldn't figure out why his blood pressure was creeping up. Once he removed the dried fruit and switched to fresh blueberries, his bloating eased, and his doctor noticed the difference too. "I didn't know those little pieces could do that much damage," he told me. If you truly enjoy fruit in your oatmeal, go fresh. A few slices of apple, a handful of berries, or half a banana offer sweetness with water, fiber, and nutrients that help slow sugar absorption and ease the liver's burden. You still get flavor, but in a form your body can handle, especially in your 60s, 7s, and beyond. It's not about giving up sweetness. It's about choosing the kind that works with your body, not against it, because your liver has worked hard for you your whole life. And at this point, it's time we work a little smarter for it too. Number 4. Flavored oat packets. For many people, especially those living alone or trying to keep meals simple, those little pre-flavored oatmeal packets feel like a quick, harmless fix. Just tear, pour, and stir. They promise health, convenience, and comfort à la none. But under that friendly label often lies a combination of additives, excessive sodium, and synthetic flavorings that can quietly damage your health, especially after age 60. Let's start with the sodium. Many flavored oat packets contain between 200 and 300 milliliters of sodium per serving, sometimes more if you add milk or cook it with salted butter. That may not sound like much, but when you add that to the sodium in bread, canned soups, or snacks throughout the day, it quickly adds up. And for seniors dealing with high blood pressure, heart concerns, or kidney function decline, the seemingly small amount can silently push your system past a safe limit. Then there's the flavor itself. Most flavored oatmeals don't get their maple or apple cinnamon taste from real ingredients. Instead, they rely on artificial flavorings, sweeteners, stabilizers, and colorants to mimic real food. These synthetic chemicals don't nourish the body. They ask your liver and kidneys to do extra filtering. And for an aging system already managing years of medication or inflammation, that added load matters more than ever. A woman named Carol, 73, told me she'd been eating flavored oatmeal packets for years, sometimes 2 a day. They were easy and felt like the healthy choice, she said. But she always felt puffy afterward and had noticed her hands swelling more lately. When she switched to plain oats with her own cinnamon and apple slices, the bloating reduced, and her morning blood pressure readings improved. I never thought a little packet could do all that, she told me. The truth is, most of the health claims on these packets are just good marketing. Healthy whole grain and low fat might sound reassuring, but they don't mention the preservatives, the chemical thickeners, or the impact of 9 added ingredients you can't pronounce. If you want real health from your oatmeal, stick with plain rolled or steel-cut oats. Add your own fruit, nuts, or spices. It only takes a few extra minutes, and your body will thank you every single time. Number 5. Non-dairy creamers. Non-dairy creamers might seem like a harmless way to make your oatmeal creamier, especially if you're lactose intolerant or cutting back on milk. But the reality is, many of these creamers are packed with ingredients that can quietly hurt your heart, your liver, and your metabolism, especially as you get older. Most powdered or liquid non-dairy creamers are made with hydrogenated or partially hydrogenated oils, which are sources of trans fats. These fats are known to raise your LDL cholesterol, the bad kind, and lower your HDL, the good kind. That's a dangerous combination for anyone, but particularly for seniors who are already managing cardiovascular risk. Even products labeled as trans fat-free may still contain small amounts if the serving is small enough, and those small amounts can build up over time. Then there are the thickeners, emulsifiers, and artificial flavors. These compounds don't nourish your body. They're there to mimic the creaminess and flavor of milk or cream without actually offering any of the natural nutrients. They force your liver and kidneys to work harder to filter them out. And over time, especially with regular use, they can contribute to chronic inflammation, a known driver of heart disease, joint pain, and even cognitive decline. I once met a man named Frank, 75, who used to stir powdered creamer into everything. His coffee, his oatmeal, even his soups. He liked the taste and didn't want to buy multiple products, but over time he started experiencing digestive issues and higher cholesterol. His doctor eventually asked him to stop using creamers altogether. Within 2 months, Frank's labs improved, and so did his stomach. I thought it was just powder, he said. Didn't realize it was messing up everything else. The problem is that non-dairy creamers are marketed as light, convenient, and cholesterol-free. But the damage they do isn't visible right away. It's slow, quiet, and often ignored until real symptoms start to show. If you want creaminess in your oatmeal, try unsweetened almond milk, oat milk, or a small splash of organic dairy cream if you tolerate it. Even a spoonful of plain yogurt can work. These options offer a clean texture with real nutrients without burdening your body with synthetic junk. Because what you mix into your oatmeal matters, especially when your body has spent decades taking care of you, now is the time to return the favor with cleaner choices. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 4 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now let's move forward. Number 6. Store-bought. Store-bought granola. Granola often carries a reputation as a healthy food. It sounds natural, wholesome, maybe even heart-friendly. But what many people don't realize is that most store-bought granola is loaded with added sugars, oils, and sometimes even preservatives that can turn your well-meaning bowl of oatmeal into a metabolic landmine. One of the biggest problems with granola is the way it's processed. In order to get that golden crunch and shelf-stable texture, manufacturers often bake oats in sugar syrups or oils, usually canola, soybean, or palm oil. These oils may be refined or even partially hydrogenated, and they can quietly promote inflammation, especially when consumed regularly. That inflammation over time contributes to stiff joints, fatigue, and higher risk of heart problems. Even so-called low-sugar granola often contains ingredients like honey, brown rice syrup, or evaporated cane juice. They sound more natural, but the effect on your body is the same: blood sugar spikes, insulin stress, and cravings for more. This is especially important for seniors who may already be managing prediabetes, energy dips, or excess belly fat, all of which are worsened by frequent sugar hits. There's also the issue of portion size. Most granola nutrition labels show serving sizes of just a few tablespoons, but most people pour far more than that, not realizing they're adding hundreds of hidden calories, dozens of grams of carbs, and fats that weren't part of the plan. I once spoke to a woman named Ellen, 71, who always added granola to her oatmeal for crunch. But once she realized she was adding more sugar and fat than an entire chocolate chip cookie, she swapped it for chopped walnuts instead. And within weeks, her blood sugar readings looked better, and her afternoon slumps disappeared. If you really want crunch in your oatmeal, there are better choices. Try plain toasted seeds, unsweetened coconut flakes, or raw nuts like almonds or pecans. These offer real fiber, healthy fats, and nutrients without the syrups, oils, and unnecessary additives. Remember, oatmeal is meant to help you. It should be a steady, calming start to your day, not a trap filled with hidden sugar and fat. And when you know what to look for on that ingredient list, you're giving your body the clarity and support it deserves, one bite at a time. Number 7. Protein powders. Many older adults have been told that adding protein to breakfast can help with energy, muscle strength, and fullness. And that's true when it comes from clean, whole sources. But when protein powders get stirred into your oatmeal every morning, especially the wrong kind, they can introduce hidden ingredients and unnecessary strain your body doesn't need. Here's what most people don't see. Many commercial protein powders contain artificial sweeteners, thickening agents, preservatives, and synthetic flavorings. These are things your kidneys and liver must filter out. And if you're over 60, those organs are already processing decades' worth of exposure to food additives, medications, and environmental toxins. Adding a daily scoop of processed powder can quietly pile on stress where you least need it. There's also the issue of quantity. The aging body doesn't process excess protein as efficiently as it once did. What's not used for tissue repair or energy gets broken down and filtered through the kidneys. For someone already dealing with reduced kidney function, common with age, even in the absence of kidney disease, this extra protein load can slowly worsen that decline. And the symptoms, fatigue, poor appetite, fluid retention, often go unnoticed until it's advanced. A man named Dennis, 78, used to blend protein powder into his oatmeal every morning because a fitness article told him it would help maintain muscle. But he was also on blood pressure medication, and his kidney labs began creeping upward. When his doctor traced the cause, they found a buildup of unnecessary protein in his diet, especially from low-quality powders. Once Dennis switched to real food sources like eggs or nuts later in the day, his numbers steadied. "I didn't realize I was overdoing it," he said. "I thought more was better." If you truly need a protein boost in the morning, reach for food-based options. A spoonful of plain Greek yogurt, a side of eggs, or a handful of nuts offers protein the way your body expects to receive. It naturally balanced with other nutrients without the hidden synthetic load. At this stage of life, it's not just about adding more. It's about adding what matters and removing what quietly causes harm. Your body still responds. It still heals. It just asks that we treat it with the clarity and respect it's earned. And when it comes to your oatmeal, that means choosing ingredients that work with your system, not against it. Final thoughts. Your morning bowl of oatmeal might seem like a simple, healthy habit, but what you mix into it could be making all the difference between feeling better or unknowingly harming your health. Each of the 7 foods we've covered today, brown sugar, artificial sweeteners, dried fruits, flavored packets, non-dairy creamers, store-bought granola and protein powders, carries its own quiet risks, especially for those of us in our 60s, 70s, or 80s. What's most important isn't just knowing what to avoid. It's understanding why. Because when you understand how your aging body responds differently to sugar, additives, and chemical-laden ingredients, you begin to see how even the smallest daily decisions ripple outward. They affect your energy, your digestion, your blood pressure, and even your mood. And the good news is, you can change that with just a few mindful adjustments. The truth is, you don't need to make your oatmeal fancy. You don't need packets or powders or sweet tricks. You just need real ingredients that love your body back, like cinnamon, fresh fruit, nuts, or clean milk. These are choices that offer support, not strain, calm, not chaos. And when you start your day in a way that honors your body, your whole day flows differently. So, take a moment and reflect. Which of these 7 do you use? And which are you ready to let go? Thank you for joining us today. We'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below and share one thing you learned today and how you plan to use it in your life. Your thoughts are important to us, so don't hesitate to share them. Reading your comments gives us great motivation and encouragement. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please like, subscribe, and share. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Thanks for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.